aspects of the TN visa or TN visa status is its compensation and income requirements. With the TN, it's unlike the H1B, where the H1B visa requires what is called a labor certification or prevailing wage determination in order to determine that an H1B visa worker is being paid a what is called a minimum or prevailing wage in the United States for that position. TN visa holders aren't subject to the same prevailing wage requirements or minimum wage requirements. So there's a lot more flexibility for wages with TN visa holders, which means how do they look at the wage for a TN visa holder? Well, they want to make sure that wage is consistent with that profession in that area of intended employment for the market. They're not going to do a strict prevailing wage determination to determine that. They will, however, look at that wage and make sure that that wage is a livable wage, that it is consistent with what other workers might make for that profession in that area, but it's not contingent upon a strict prevailing wage determination like the H1B visa is. In addition, there is no requirement that the income source for a TN visa be from a US employer. So, what does that mean? Well, if you work for a foreign employer and that employer has contracts to service in the United States, then you can remain on your foreign employer's payroll while you're working in the United States on that TN visa for your foreign employer. So, unlike the H1B, where there are limitations with prevailing wage determinations, the flexibility in wages and how you're getting paid, there's much more of that with the TN visa process. That also applies to the question about being a W-2 worker or a 1099 worker. These are all elements that can be determined between the employee and the employer, and what are they come to an agreement upon as far as how they're going to be compensated in the United States. Under the regulations, it simply indicates that the TN application must provide the arrangements for remuneration for the services to be rendered, nothing more than that. So much more flexibility for a TN visa when it comes to wages and the source of those wages.